Hi everyone, it's me, Mr. D from Mr. D Math, and I'm working with Bridgeway Academy on a new math series called The Math You Need to Know. So I'll be showing you a series of videos in which you can practice exercises that will show you math skills that you need in the real world. Hope you enjoy this, and again, I'm Mr. D from Mr. D Math, working with the Bridgeway Academy, and this is the math you need to know.
Have you ever played putt-putt golf before? I know I have, but when I play I have lots of fun. I hope you do too. And let's say that today you're out at this putt-putt golf course, we're out playing, and you're in charge of adding up the scores after the first 9 holes. So, if I asked you to add up the scores after the first 9 holes, how can you do that quickly and easily? Let's take a look at my scores. Look at this. I got a 3 and a 5 and a 4, a 7, a 2, a 6, a 5, a 3, and another 5 on the first 9 holes. So let's see how we can find my total score quickly and easily. A lot of people would do it just adding from the left to the right, 3 plus 5 plus 4 plus 7. That could be tough work. Let's see if we can find a quick, easy way to do it. Are you ready? Let's look. Now, as I said, here's my score, the 3, 5, 4, 7, 2, 6, 5, 3, 5. Now, some people would go like this. They'd go 3 plus 5 plus 4 plus 7 plus 2 plus 6 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5. If you do all that, that's a lot of work. We've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 19, 21, and so on. For me, if I was going to do this, I would do it a different way, and I'm going to show you that same way as well, and it's called making 10's. Probably heard me say before, and if not, you'll hear me say at some point in time that one of my favorite numbers is 10. The reason why is 10's so easy to work with. So I'm going to go through my numbers and I'm going to look for some 10's and see. You may see some 10's already. You may know that 3 and 7 make a 10. So I'm going to put those right here. Here's 3 and 7. That makes a 10. Hey, you know what? There's another 10 in here. I can see it. You might see it too. 5 and 5. It makes a 10. So let's put those two 5's right here and we've got a 10. By the way, I'm just writing these down. You could probably be doing this in your head and doing it really fast and easy. Let's check it out. Look, 4. Oh, 4 and 6. Well, look at that. That makes another 10. I bet you already have the total before I've even got this written down. You may have already, and if you do, that's just great. Look what's left over. We've still got a 2 and a 3 and a 5. Hey, 2 and 3 and 5. Well, that works out great too because 2 and 3 is already 5. And then I've got here 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 plus 5 more is another 10. Now my score is quick and easy to do. If you have done this as well, look what we've got. We've got 10, 20, 30, 40. My total is going to be 40 after the first 9 holes of my putt-putt golf game that I've been playing. Now I bet you could do this quick and easy yourself. But let's check it out and see if you do. Are you ready? Let's take a look at a couple more examples so you can see how to go in and do this quickly and easily. So let's look at this example. We've got 7 plus 9 plus 1 plus 8 plus 3. Again, what am I doing? I'm going to look for 10's anytime I can. Did you notice? Because if you went this way, 7 plus 9 is 16, plus 1 is 17, plus 8, 25, plus 3 more, 28. Now, I can do that pretty easily myself. You might be able to as well, but watch what happens if I do it by 10's. I can do it this way, but I still want to make sure that I came up with that same number that I said was going to be 28. Let's look and see. So I'm going to look for 10's. And oh, look at that. 7 and 3, there's a 10 right there. So I know I've got a 10 already. 9 and 1, I'm going to put 2 lines under the 9 and 1. Why? Well, because then I know that way I made the 7 and 3 made a 10 with 1 line. The 9 and 1 made the 10 with 2 lines. And I'm keeping track and organizing my numbers, but all I have left over now is the 8. I'll put 3 lines under that. And look at that. 10, 10, and 8. That's easy. That I know for sure. I made 28. You're going to have an opportunity to practice some of these as well, and I'm going to show you one more because what happens when the numbers don't make 10 right away? Well, let's take a look at that. Even something like 7 plus 5. I ask students all the time, well, if you were going to do 7 plus 5 and you were going to add that up, and some of you may go, but I already know it's 12. Okay, but why is it 12? Well, let's see if we can figure it out. Are you ready? By making 10's. So, watch what I'm going to do. If I asked you the question, even though you could do 7 plus 5, and you may know that already, and I said to you, which one is easier, 7 plus 5 or 10 plus 2? Almost everyone tells me 10 plus 2 is easier. It's 12. It's quick and it's easy to do. Well, let's take a look at how can you actually turn a 7 and a 5 into something that uses 10's. Let's look and see. Are you ready? It's going to work just like this. What if I could make the 7 into a 10? You might say, wow, well, if I was already saying what the 7 need to make a 10, you might be thinking, saying, oh yeah, you know, if 7 had 3 more, it could be a 10. Okay, well, as simple as that, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 7, keep it a 7, but the 5 is now going to help the 7 out. How's the 5 going to help the 7 out? Well, the 5, because I know it's also 3 plus 2. Why did I pick 3 plus 2? Because the 3 wants to help the 7. And I still have a plus 2 here. So all I've done is I've taken 5, I've changed it into 3 plus 2, and now look what I have. Now I have 10 plus 2, which equals 12. I'm going to give you some to practice as well. Let me show you a couple more. Take a look at 9 plus 6. How could you do 9 plus 6 and do that quickly and easily? And you may be saying already, Mr. D, I know that the 9 needs a 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, boom, I need a 1 here. And so what I'm going to do is take the 6 and turn it into a 1 plus 5. Why? So the 1 can help the 9. Again, what does it do? Well, it makes it quick and easy to add. Let's look and see now. What we've got is we've got 9, but now what we're going to be adding to 9 is not the 6, but it's a version of 6, or another way to write 6, which is 1 plus 5. So what do we get? Well, now we've got 9 and 1, which is 10, and 10 plus 5 equals 15. And just like that, we added that up. I want to take a look at another example. I bet you're already figuring this out, and you can already do it yourself. But let's look at a couple more examples anyway, just so you can keep practicing. You could do it with me as we're going. How about if we do 8 plus 4? And you may be saying, okay, 8 needs a 2 to make a 10. Okay, well, how's the 4 going to help out? Well, I'm just going to take the 4 and make it a 2 plus 2. Well, that's easy enough. Why? Because when I go now, I'm going to be saying not 8 plus 4, but 8 plus a new version of 4. And my new version of 4 isn't just a 4 anymore. Now it's 2 plus 2. Still 4, but now the 8 and the 2 can work together. They can become a 10, and 10 plus 2 equals 12. That's the 2 that's left over. This 2 goes with the 8 to make a new 10, and just like that, we've added quickly and easily. And this one, we're going to look at it two different ways, 7 plus 8, because I could do 7 plus 8 and get an answer, or I could do 8 plus 7. Some people like to do the 8 first because it's bigger. We can do it that way too, but I'm going to start with the 7 and look and see, how can I work with the 7? The 7 needs just 3 more. Where's it going to get its 3 more from? Well, it's going to get its 3 more from the 8. And the 8's going to say, okay, to make an 8, I need 3, and 3 plus 5 is what makes 8. Okay, well, now what do we've got? Well, easy enough. We're going to be able to come in and say, we can see now that we're going to have the 7, but the 8 has now changed itself into a 3 plus 5, so the 3 can help the 7 make a 10, and there's 10 plus 5 equals 15. Some people say, but Mr. D, what if I wanted to do the 8? The 8's bigger. I think that would be easier. Well, that's fine. Let's do the same problem and do it that way and see what happens. Okay, so here's 7 plus 8. Then instead of the 7 getting some help from the 8 would like some help from the 7. How's that going to work? Well, what does 8 need to make a 10? You say, hey, 8 needs 2. Well, let's go over here and take the 7, and the 7's going to turn into what? Well, we need a 2 to help out the 8, and you may say, oh yeah, 2 plus 5 or 5 plus 2. There's my 7. Well, let's rewrite this now. We've got 5 plus 2 plus the 8 that we already had, and now there's my 10, and you probably see it yourself. There it is right there. So now what do we have? Well, now we have 5 plus 10, and we're going to get 15. Now, you may say, is it okay to add the numbers in that order? I can do the 2 plus 8 first, get 10, and then add it to 5, and get the 15, and yes, you can do that. We have a word in math that is called the commutative property that you'll learn more about in algebra, and I'll write it down here so you can see the word. The commutative property lets me take the numbers and I can add them in any order, either if I go from left to right or right to left, as long as everything is in addition. So that's important. Make sure everything is addition, and then you can add left to right or right to left, and the numbers will add up. That way, you can pick the numbers that work best for you, and while you're working with that, you'll be able to add quickly and easily, and it's all about making 10s. Well, there you go. There's some practice problems to try for yourself. I hope this is making a difference for you, and you're learning how to add quickly and easily by making 10s.